Good afternoon. My name is Chris Blackwell and I'm here to speak to you about vaccination. 13 years ago, I started out in ICU and I was working as a respiratory therapist. A 5-year-old little girl came into the department I was working in, and 3 days later, I had to shut off the ventilator that was keeping her alive and watch as she passed in her mom's arms. The reason I'm telling you this is because diseases are out there that still are preventable from having vaccinations. So what I'd like to talk to you a little bit about today is the history of vaccination. I'd like to talk to you about vaccination's role in public health, and also give you a little bit of an idea of why somebody might not do a vaccination. Some form of vaccines has been around for thousands of years. The Chinese practiced it about 1000 BC. Indians practiced it in about 500 AD. And then in the 1700s, the practice of variolation was widely used. This involved taking infected material from somebody that was infected with smallpox and actually scraping it across the skin of a healthy individual. The hope was that they would develop a mild case of smallpox and that would confer immunity to them. According to the website historyofvaccines.org, in 1796, Dr. Edward Jenner made a breakthrough when he, quote, demonstrated that cowpox matter transferred in a human chain from one person to the next provided protection from smallpox. So they were able to take another type of pox and actually give it to somebody and actually make them immune to smallpox. In the 1800s, Louis Pasteur advanced the theory that germs were the cause of disease, which led to a whole focus of scientific understanding, a whole breakthrough in scientific understanding that diseases just didn't spontaneously appear. In modern history, in the 20th century, one of the diseases that received a lot of focus has been polio. While some people made full recoveries from polio, it is possible that they had neurological damage and or paralysis. Dr. Jonas Salk invented a vaccine based on a killed virus. He administered the vaccine to himself and his family experimentally in 1953. In 1994, the Americas were declared polio-free. And the hope is that by 2018, the world will have eradication of polio. In 2016, according to the website polioeradication.org, there were 33 new cases of polio in the last 12 months. Other diseases that have included vaccinations are hepatitis B, the flu vaccine, pneumonia, whooping cough, chickenpox. So there's a lot of vaccines out there available, and those have been developed in the last century. So now what I'd like to talk to you about is vaccines within public health. The goal of the immunization guidelines is to provide herd immunity. According to an article posted by NOVA on pbs.org, herd immunity is, quote, a means of protecting a whole community from disease by immunizing a critical mass of its populace. Scientists believe that by achieving 95 to 98% vaccination, this leads to herd immunity. This breaks the chain of infection and protects those that are immunocompromised. Outbreaks can and still do occur. In December of 2014, there was an outbreak of measles at Disneyland in California. The scientists that studied it determined that the cause of it was an unvaccinated individual. According to John Brownstein, in an article on time.com, quote, our data tells us a very straightforward story, that the way to stop this and future measles outbreaks is through vaccination. Over the last few years, there's also been an outbreak of meningococcal disease, leading to colleges to require vaccination. That's been happening in colleges throughout the United States. Some of the reasons that people don't want to vaccinate. For some, there's a risk. There's a perceived risk. They think that they're going to get sick. Parents of autistic children have looked to vaccines as a cause for their child's autism. Scientists do point out the fact that there's been many studies done on the safety of vaccinations. And then there's been no studies that have shown a definitive link between vaccines and autism. The flu vaccine is another concern. It contains thimerosal, which is an ethyl mercury. Thimerosal has been in vaccines as a preservative since the 1930s. There's been no research that has shown any side effects related to thimerosal. And there are flu vaccines out there that don't contain thimerosal if that is a concern. Another factor may be education about vaccines and or socioeconomics. A lot of people that are coming into the country don't necessarily know about vaccines. They don't have the information. So therefore they don't get their children vaccinated, or they themselves do not get vaccinated. Another issue could be the fact that they don't have the resources, they don't have the money to go out to the doctor and pay for a vaccine or pay for a doctor's visit. There are programs out there that do help them with that. So I hope that through this speech I've discussed the fact that vaccination is an important scientific breakthrough that we have to be informed about to be able to make decisions. It's important that we understand the history and development of vaccines, why herd immunity is important, and to understand why someone might not be vaccinated. There are many communicable diseases that can create a wide variety of problems. Vaccines remain our best chance of keeping those diseases at bay. Thank you for your time.